Okay, question 3 then. Stylish computer desk made of laminate wood, non-scratch top. Length is exactly 2000 millimeters. So Luke wants his new desk for his bedroom. The desk is to fit on a straight wall between his wardrobe and bookcase. So there we got those measurements there. So Luke has measured the length of the wall to be 600 centimeters, correct to the nearest 10 centimeters, and then you've got the same thing then for bookcase, wardrobe to the nearest, and so on. Part A, what is the greatest length of the wall, greatest possible length of the wall? Let's look at the wall, 600 centimeters, correct to the nearest 10 centimeters. Well, for answering this, right, there's plenty of room around here, so we can sort of do maybe a little number line up here, okay, just to show you the idea of greatest and least when it comes to this. Now, it's measured to 600 centimeters to the nearest 10 centimeters. Now that there indicates, that tells you what the ruler is going up in, okay? So in this case here, it's measuring in tens. So 600 is one of them, 610 would be the next one, 590 would be the one before it. Now the fact is they've measured it to be 600, okay? That's what it's measured to, that's what it's closest to. So you've got to think, what's the most it can be? Well, the most it can be is here, okay, which is 605. Can't be any more than that. So basically it's in there somewhere, isn't it? It's in there somewhere where 605 was the most it could be, so we'd round to 600. So there we go there. So that's your answer there. That's the greatest it could be. Of course, the least it could be here would be down here, wouldn't it? Which would be halfway between these two, 595. But in this particular case, they wanted the greatest length of the wall, okay? What is the least possible length of the wardrobe? Well, let's look at the wardrobe. 250 measures to the nearest centimetre. Now in this case here with our number lines is going up in ones because it's to the nearest centimetre. Okay, so there you go, going up in ones. So the least possible length would be here, wouldn't it? It'd have to be halfway between these two so that it would be rounded into 250, and there 249.5. Okay, that's what we're looking for there. That's the answer for that one. Okay, so part C then, it says, can you be certain that the desk will fit in the space available? You must show all your calculations, give the greatest or least bounds of any measurements used in calculation comparisons. Give a reason for your answer. Okay, well, let's have a look. Can you fit this in here? And it says here, can you be certain that you can fit in here? Now, if he's certain, what we need to do is to choose the measurements here that are appropriate for addressing this issue here, where he's certain that it will squeeze in, that it will fit in. We've got to look at the worst case scenario. For instance, I would say the wardrobe, we need to look at the greatest possible wardrobe, okay? The greatest possible wardrobe length. We need to consider that because, you know, the bigger it is, then there's less room here. And the same for bookcase. Let's consider the greatest possible bookcase, because the greatest it is, the less room we've got here, and we need to establish, can we get that desk in there? Okay, so we need to look for the greatest wardrobe, okay, length. Now let's go back to parts A and B for that, to see if there's anything here. And we found the least length of the wardrobe, that's no good. The greatest, of course, we can use this number line here, okay, is 250.5. Okay, so that's what I'm going to write there. So that's the one we're going to use. We're going to assume the greatest length. Same for the bookcase now. Let's look for the greatest bookcase. Now we haven't actually done that yet, so let's do a little number line for that. We'll do that over here. So 147, 148 to the nearest centimetre, so it's going up in centimetres. The greatest would be there, 147.5. Okay, that's the greatest we want there. So the greatest bookcase is 147.5 centimeters. Okay, so we're considering the greatest there. But now when it comes to the wall, we need to think, are we looking for the greatest or the least? There, we look for the greatest or the least. And actually, we're going for the least wall, aren't we, if you think about it, because the wall represents where everything needs to fit in. So if we go for the smallest possible wall, biggest possible wardrobe and bookcase, then it leaves the smallest possible gap here. Okay, so let's look at the least wall. Least wall length. Now, did we work that out in part A? No, we worked out the greatest, but we worked out the least up there, didn't we? To be 595 centimeters. Okay, so we need to see now if we got enough space here in this gap. If we got enough space here in this gap to fit our desk. So the best thing to do is to work out what these two are added together and take it away from the wall length. So what have we got? Wardrobe and bookcase. Let's add those two together. So 250.5 and 147.5. So that adds up to 10. Okay, 5 plus 5 is 10, so 0, carry 1. 0 plus 7 is 7, plus 1 is 8. 5 plus 4 is 9, and then 2 plus 1 is 3. So 398.0. Okay, and then the least wall length then is 595. So we see then what this adds up to then. Let's see what's left over. So we've added the wardrobe and bookcase. We can say wardrobe and bookcase length is 398.0 centimeters. So let's see what's left now for the desk to fit in. So 595 take away 398. Okay, so it's exactly 595, exactly 398. So 5 take away 8, we can't do that, so we borrow from the 9, that becomes an 8. And the 1 we borrow goes there. 15 take away 8 is 7. 8 take away 9, well, we can't do that. So we borrow from the 5, that becomes a 4, and the 1 we borrow we put there. 18 take away 9 is 9. 4 take away 3 is 1. So the gap left over when we have least wall and greatest bookcase and wardrobe is 197 centimeters. Now let's see how big that desk was. It was exactly 2,000 millimeters. Okay, so the desk is 2,000 millimeters. Okay, now there's 10 millimeters in a centimeter. So if you divide that by 10, you get that in terms of centimeters, 200 centimeters. So in this case, in this scenario, the desk is too big for the gap. Okay, it won't fit in. Alright, because it's 200, whereas we worked out there was only a gap of 197 using the smallest possible wall, largest wardrobe and bookcase.